work with the builders before, during, and after a build. And this is an example of one of the situations where it was after the build, we moved in. I wanted this to be a functional door for the pantry, but we're often in the pantry and we don't really close the door very often. So we didn't want a door that kind of stuck out and got in the way. So I planned for just having this like a barn door situation. But when we built the barn doors, what happens is this is a very narrow space, so we had to kind of split it in the middle, and that all worked fine. But when we first installed this, the barn doors, even though they're hung well, they just, as far as like they're even and it's very level, when they would close, it would only close about a ½ inch apart and there would be a gap. So I needed to come up with a fix for that. A little more solidly. So I think I have an idea that will work. See if it holds it together like that. It just looks a little more closed. It just closes that. Let's see, it looks like I'd say, if I just let it hang, it's anywhere from a ½ inch to a ½ inch gap that will hang open. Yeah, I don't want that kind of gap. So let's see what we can do about that. Now look at what we have to work with here. Now on the inside, when you close this, let me see. Okay, I need something. All right, so here it is. Okay, I think this is what I'm gonna try to do. I've worked with things before where if you put magnets, you can kind of hold them closed, but see this edge here, there's not quite enough. Like you have to have the magnets so that they can touch. So I'm gonna try to build out something that allows the magnets to touch so that it holds it closed when you put it closed, but it doesn't need a latch or anything to just open it. So let's see if I can make this work. So here's my first stop. I go into my closet here that I have everything organized. The bins I put sideways so that I can maximize the space from the bottom of the shelf to the top of the shelf. If they went this way, there'd be a gap of space and I can only get, I think, 3 of them across, maybe 4. But this way I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we almost double the amount of bins that I can get in there and just slide it in and out. But I have them all labeled because even though they're see-through, it doesn't always say all the things that I have in there. So for example, hooks, suction cups, and magnets. That's what I'm looking for. So let's go ahead and get started. And here's the other bin I just pulled out. This one is labeled miscellaneous. Yeah, and I just pulled out these spacers. There's these, I think, cabinet spacers that were in here from the build. And I have 2 different widths. So we have, this looks to be about ½ inch. And this is about actually no, this looks like ½ inch and this is ½ inch. Let's see. No, maybe an 1/8, ½ an 1/8. That's about what it is. We have to get the measurement, but hold it up here and see which one's gonna work. So that one is exactly flush, leaving no room for the magnet. So I'm pretty sure we're gonna have to go with this one. So going with the ½ inch gives exactly the amount of space for the magnet. So let's find the magnet next. And then I can see here now, I'm already, if I cut this lengthwise, I can use that here and here. And that strength of magnet ought to do. And it's the exact color that we need, so it's gonna blend. Ooh, the lolly. I just love when a plan comes together. I just went through my magnet bin, a bin that has the magnets and suction cups and other hooks in there. And I found these magnet buttons, which I'm sure are pretty strong, but the shape of them are not gonna work. But I did get these the last time I had a project similar to this, and these are really super strong magnet slats that I got from Amazon, so not super expensive, and they look to be the exact width and size that we'll need. So we'll try it. I was able to get these magnets separated apart, but you can see here, let me see if I can show you here. Obviously you have to get the right side. They're repelling on this side, they're pushing, but as soon as I put them on the edge there or put them on this side, so the edges are going to stick, but I have to turn that. There you go. So now I know the sides that are going to stick. So I'm going to put this adhesive that comes with them. I'm gonna put that on the side, the back sides, so that we have that already lined up for what we need. That's the side that I need exposed to stick. And let's see if this, press that on. Do the same thing for this one. These things are, it's almost from a movie or something, the way they literally jump into position. So I'm gonna let that sit there, and I gotta put that sticky on here. And I wanna make sure that that's stuck on the other side, so that the adhesive side there, so we can stick that onto the wood. But I wanna get this lined up so that it's just so. Let's see. Okay. There it is. So we have one side there, one side there. Now let's see about putting them on. Okay, let's adjust this. Man, these things are sticky. But once we get it going, it's gonna be worth it. So I'm gonna put this in so that the magnet side is further down. I'm gonna show you here. I'm gonna put it on this side so I can line it up as best I can with the bottom side. There we go. There we go. See if this works. If this sticky and adhesive on this is gonna work. Sometimes, if the magnets are as strong as they are, which they obviously are pretty strong, it might pull it off of the adhesive. So I'm hoping that this is a fix. There we go. But man, look at the lineup of that. This is lined up almost perfectly. If you can see, that's like flush with the wood. You can see that. And the same thing on this side here. Almost exactly flush. It has, oh, 1/8 of an inch there. I don't know if you can see that. But hopefully that's not too much. So let's see if when we close it, if it sticks. Here it goes. Moment of truth. Pull it together. There you go. Another problem solved, everyone. See from this side. There's that door and that door. Let's see, when we bring them together, will it stay closed? Yes, indeed. Last part of the project is putting things away, getting things cleaned up so that they're where I need them to be next time I need them. So I put these on their side, they're clipped shut. And we have a miscellaneous bin right here. Online. And here's the other one. Gotta put this up here. There we go. Everything's put away. My daughter has that one out right now. It's the first aid bin. I have a little handy dandy hook here to put that in so that it just rests right on there when we need it next. That's here and there. We'll hang in there, out of the way. Love my little battery organizer. Anything that organizes, keeps things, everything in their place so that I know where to find it, where to go to. This is all the smaller stuff.
Well, we started with let's see if this works and ended with why didn't I do this sooner? See you next time, and thanks for watching.